Ron, do you remember how you and I met? Was it through Kevin Lindenmuth? Oh, should I say Addicted to Murder director, amongst other things, Kevin
Yeah.
Lindenmuth.
It must have been. What was the first thing that
Well,
we did? Was it Alien Force, or was there
yeah,
something
yes,
before that?
I did. Yeah, how
You know
did you
what?
end up?
I did interviews too for one of the Alien Agenda things. That
Oh,
you
I forgot
did.
about that. Wait, hold on, wait 1 second. I totally forgot about that. Wait a minute. Darn it! Oh wait, no. Wait. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I have it on DVD. I have it right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. With a Debbie Rochon. Yeah, dude, awesome. I totally forgot. Yeah, I remember I went to Mark's house. What was Mark's last name?
Gordon.
I went to Mark Gordon's house, and I was really excited because he had shot a movie with Mickey Rourke, and Mickey Rourke's my favorite actor. So I when I found that out, I was goosing him for stories. Um, and then you and him worked together on Alien Force.
Yeah. Well, Blazing Force first, and then Alien Force. I wrote some of Blazing Force and helped with production. I played a couple roles in it, and then Alien Force was a follow up to that, which I got to direct as my directorial debut. And we did it in Mark of Dracula, and Mark also shot the original Hollywood Mortuary, the short version, and a couple other things. A thing called The Trigger Man, an action film that Mark wrote and directed, and I associate produced.
And did you guys also do a movie called Riddled with Bullets, or was
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that was one of mine. That was like the third film I directed.
Whatever happened to Mark? I mean, I remember he was a great guy, loved talking to him, but I mean, I just kind of over the years sort of lost touch with him.
He's kind of out of the film business. I think he sells some holistic food and medicine stuff on the internet, and that a couple of the distributors I work with are negotiating with him to release some of the old movies. I know Dave Sterling has got him to release Mark of Dracula and Things 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember you were doing things back in 1999. Because I remember when we were shooting Schusterman Levine, you had scheduled a meeting with David. So it was very important that we got done shooting. You weren't rushing me or anything, but I just remember you saying, Evan, I got to go talk to David Sterling about things. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, now that I think of it, I don't think Mark Gordon had anything to do with Things 3. But anyways, all in that same period.
Gotcha. So then, okay, well, actually, my first question, which I didn't actually send you, but I'm going to send you, when did you realize you had a love for movies, and like genre movies, writing? When does all that happen for Ron Ford?
No, it's been a couple centuries anyway. That I don't remember ever not being interested in making movies, loving movies on TV, and especially the horror stuff. I was born in '58, so I grew up during the '60s when in the whole monster craze, Famous Monsters magazine and the monsters on TV and all the toys in the stores. I was a monster kid, thoroughly into all that stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And so then, did you want to be a writer first and then moved into acting, or were you an actor that moved into writing?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, actually in second grade, I wrote a story that my teacher flipped over, and so I got a lot of attention for my writing, and I always wanted to be a writer after that. And then, I started going to Seattle Film Society. The Seattle Science Fiction Film Society. My friend Hugh Murphy, who ran that, he knew everything about films, and he kind of became my mentor about how to appreciate movies. And so at that point, I learned that the director is really he was a big believer in the auteur theory. So I wanted to direct movies ever since then. But I wanted to be a writer first. Acting is just, who doesn't want to be an actor? I've always wanted to see myself on TV, and get a chance till I was an adult. But there you go.
So then how does the fear come about? Did you write that and sell it, or was that like a thing where someone came to you and said, "Hey, we need a script for this"?
Now, that's a long story.
So tell me everything. Leave nothing out, because that movie has a lot. That movie's lived on. Like that's a
Yeah, it has more than I
is it a Christmas movie? Is it a horror movie? Like, it's
yeah,
very
it's one of those, is a diehard of the horror genre. It's a Christmas movie and a horror film. But I used to do a lot of transportation on movies, driving vans and stuff. And I worked on a movie called Red Surf for a guy named Greg Sims. It was a movie with George Clooney in it just before he became famous. And anyway, I would, every movie I worked on, I would give one of my spec scripts to the producer. I'd leave it in his box. And most of the time after the shoot was done, I'd find it in the trash can. But Greg actually read the thing and then flipped over. It was a script I called it B movie then. It was about a ragtag bunch of people during the McCarthy era in the 50s making a horror film, a low budget horror film. And he loved this script. Since that script has become, was my novel, based on my novel, The Grave Robbers. But anyway, Greg said he didn't think it would be a commercial project because Matinee had just come out, that he thought was too similar. And Matinee was a flop, but it was a great movie, but it was a flop. So he didn't think it was commercial, but he said, I'm gonna call you up in the future and have you write a horror movie for me. And then a year later, that's exactly what happened. He called me up and to write The Fear. He had an idea about using his cabin up in Lake Arrowhead and have a wooden mannequin that everyone would tell their fears to, and it would come alive and dispatch them one by one by their fears. That was basically what I had to work with, and that's where it came from.
I don't, because has there been? I probably should look this up too. Has there been a sequel to that, or is there? And did you write that too? Like,
no, I had nothing to do with it. It was called The Fear 2 Halloween Night. They did have a scene in there that was one of the scenes from my script that was cut in their shooting because they couldn't find the right actor for it. But anyway, that scene turned up in that movie, uncredited. Basically the same scene. I don't think it was exactly the same dialogue, but yeah, I didn't really care for the sequel at all. I think they changed too much of the character. But anyway, I was not involved.